change room. And I'll take
Why are you taking out turn? It's my favourite turn.
Yeah.
I thought I just throw the in though. Yeah, you probably didn't want to be inside. It's alright. Yeah, the same as John Chopin. You ever went pin-pin? Not enough attempts here, mate. It's only the second one. Ryan Fry played against us once. 2 practice shots, he missed heavy, missed light, like missed the rings. They went pin-pin. Ready? Aye.
I was going to say,
Does she want me to send the one I've already got? Because then it'll have all the details shown me.
Oh, cool.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Is it like man-made? Like man... man
You just saw your two first.
The high time? Okay.
Yeah.
You just coming straight up?
Yeah.
If there's no sweeping, definitely.
Okay.
Role play.
Oh, yeah. And have they got like volunteers doing like the joystick stuff?
Some. I'll be throwing mine 2 in a row then.
They're doing
Yeah,
it
I'll
every
sit
job.
like rolls.
They're going to be high.
I like the first section of that because that gives you something to talk for 2 minutes.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, they seemed a bit confused when they were giving out microphones there, but I think they've sorted it. Yeah.
So that's in the sheet. As I predicted.
the season, where it's a very particular type of curl. So seeing who gets used to those conditions early on, usually you give Bruce the advantage with those types of things, with how easily they repeat delivery. So whoever gets out to an early start, as is the case with first games, I expect to be out in front to start.
For sure. Well, and it's not even just the, we'll talk about the repeatable deliveries in a second here, but, one thing that Bruce has is a ton of experience also playing on slam ice, and obviously we play all across Canada, but the ice surface, they're always kind of striving for the same thing at a slam, right? And this is only Cameron Bryce's second ever Tier 1 slam event. So that already gives Bruce a bit of an advantage, I have to think, coming into the game, having played in so many more of these Tier 1 slams than Cameron has.
Yeah, and the slams do have that aura to them. It's a different atmosphere, different type of tournament. It helps a little bit, again, when it's Tuesday, 8 a.m., so you're not out there in front of a packed crowd yet and that type of tight atmosphere. But for Cameron, he's played against all these teams at some point, too, so it's not like this is a giant jump up in competition.
So we will take a look at the lineups for both teams. Team Mouat out of Stirling, Scotland, of course, skipped by Bruce Mouat. The third is Grant Hardy. The second is Bobby Lammy. And the lead is Hammy McMillan Jr. And as we said off the top of the show, world number 1, Tyler. And they've already got 2 wins to start the year, a second-place finish as well. So really coming in here with all guns a-blazing.
Yeah, and a team that's used to being at the top of the standings, the top of the rankings, too. So Bruce and his guys just doing what they do right back there at the top of the rankings.
And with Cameron Bryce, we have the skip, of course, Cameron Bryce. Third is Duncan Menzies. Second is Luke Carson. And lead is Robin McCall, although I do believe they have a lineup shift today. Robin McCall will be playing second, and Scott Hislop will be playing lead. And Scott's the brand new guy on this team, Cameron Bryce. They started the year a little bit shaky, but they are actually coming off a win as well at the Matchtown tournament, a Nordic curling event. They were over there in Sweden, and they're coming off a win as well, Tyler. So, it's no shortage of experience on the Bryce side of the rink either.
And as we talked about prior to the game, too, John, the level of competition in the event that they played in, obviously not as high as the events that Bruce is winning in, but any win whatsoever coming into a major event like this gives you confidence. So really big for Cameron to get that tournament win coming into this thing.
Yeah, as you said, Bruce Mouat, the 2 wins coming in, 2 tournaments that we've come to know as, really 2 great August events. When you and I were playing in August, we were not thinking about curling, but the Baden Masters in Switzerland has turned into quite the event. Bruce Mouat winning that one over Yannick Schwaller, and the Euro Super Series in their home club, the Scottish National Training Centre in Stirling, where they beat also fellow compatriots Ross White in the final there. So, yeah, they've gotten off to a hot start, this Bruce Mouat rink, over the last few seasons. They always just seem so prepared, Tyler, and so ready to go when it comes down to it.
And part of that is the very unique way that this team prepares together, that they try to mirror each other's deliveries in practice. And talking with Hammy and McMillan a few years back, said they pair up, record each other's deliveries on camera, and they switch who they're paired with in different practices, and they try to mimic each other to the point that all 4 of them are throwing the rock exactly the same way. Very unusual thing, but if it works, it helps you, especially at the start of the season, come in flying and ready to go because you know exactly what to expect from your team.
Totally, and you were talking about that, and sorry, we do have Robin McCall throwing lead rocks here, so I guess it'll be Scott Hislop at the second position. This Team Bryce, as I said, Scott, young guy, 22 years old. They're still trying to figure out exactly where he fits in the lineup, so does look like, Tyler, they are going to be, they're ready to dance here in the first end, throwing a guard with the first stone here.
As commentators, you always like to see that guard to start things off. Not unusual at all, especially in the first game of a tournament, to go into the rings and have both teams trade hits just to try to get their feet underneath. But no lack of confidence from Team Bryce, going right to center guard on that center line in the no-tick zone.
Yeah, so for those of you who are maybe a little unfamiliar, that was a rule that came into curling over the last few years. Most events now do use it, but Tyler, do you want to walk the fans through what the no-tick zone exactly means?
Yeah, for the first 5 shots at each end, if a rock is touching the center line on the sheet in front of the house, it cannot be moved off the center line or it will be replaced, although the non-offending team does have the option of placing the stone back, or leaving it where it's at, I should say, and not moving it back to the center line if they like where the rock ended up.
So nice draw from Hammy McMillan Jr. to get things started. Right behind that Bryce center guard. And, you know, I do want to get back to that repeatable deliveries, Tyler. You know, it's, as you said, very unusual for a team. And you were also talking off the top of the game about this slam ice and how good it is. And also how interesting, unique it is maybe compared to curling club surfaces. And I can only imagine that, you know, that's got to help them figure out the ice a little quicker as well.
Now that's a hallmark for this team. You see a nice freeze made to the top of the 8-foot. But the slam ice tends to have a really sharp break. It's not gradual. So especially for teams like Mouat's squad that throw a lot of rotation, and they do vary their rotation too. But when you have a solid rotation on slam ice, it really helps you control that break a little more. Something that my team really always had to talk about going into slams is we have to spin the rock, because we were not a team that had as much rotation as a lot of other teams on tour. So at these particular tournaments with these conditions, you really need to make sure you have a solid release and rotation on the rock.
So a nice shot from Robin McCall and a follow down from Hammy McMillan just on the corner of that Cameron Bryce Yellowstone.
15-2.
Really nice rock placement and weight right out of the gates. You're hearing 15-2. That'll be a hog-to-hog time.
And
just to the top of the 8-foot. Yeah,
that's quick.
Yeah, to the top 8s. That is extremely quick.
Easy, Robin. Easy. Whoa. Whoa. Carl. Whoa. Carl. Carl. Just Duncan. Hard. Well, good.
And lining those up really well. Straight gun to that stone in the top of the 4-foot.
Yeah, very nice there from Scott Hislop, the young gun on this Cameron Bryce team. So you heard hack weight here for Bobby Lammy. Just going to try and hit the rock just thrown by Hammy McMillan. Punch that Yellowstone at least out of that pile.
First stone we've seen on the outturn side, and if there is a spot on arena ice especially, but also in club play that you have to pay attention to, it's the wall side on the end sheets that tend to act a little different. You see this one over curling quite a bit, almost nosing that guard.
Yeah, you were right on top of that. Looked like it curled quite early out of Bobby Lammy's hand, so I don't know if he was tight or maybe they just didn't have the broom in the right spot. You would imagine with how much that curled, Tyler, probably a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
I would say that's probably accurate, yeah, but we'll keep an eye on that to see if it's curling more on the wall side of the sheet. We did see Cameron Bryce's draw to the button pregame in the last shot draw under curl and end up on the side of the 4-foot on that wall side. So it could be just operator error, but we will be keeping an eye on that.
So a nice opportunity here for Scott Hislop without the hammer here. And that's a nice shot. Cameron Bryce, just like that, lying 2 without hammer early on.
And for Cameron here, John, you really would love to make Bruce look at a few on his last in this first end. Again, just trying to get used to the ice, trying to get used to the weight. If you don't have hammer in the first end and you can make your opposing skip draw against multiple points or make anything against multiple points, that's a win.
Bobby Lammy attempting a little bit of a cleanup here, looking for a double. And he will go right through the hole. And it is still Bryce lying the 1 here.
This is perfect.
Have we addressed
10.
Hammy's hair yet? I mean, I think we probably have to at this point.
Just a centimeter high.
We'll have to ask him after the game.
I gotta know
what the bet was. I can only assume he lost.
Well, he is a trendsetter. Maybe that one hasn't gotten across the pond to us yet. We'll have to ask Hammy.
I think it did. I think it just got across the pond like 20 years ago.
I might have had that color hair back in, I want to say maybe 8th, 9th grade.
Yeah. And that will move the rock for Duncan Menzies, but not quite out of the rings as they planned. But it is Bryce lying 1, 3, 4, and 5.
A good weight control there. They still keep that rock in a spot that takes the draw path away and they can use.
Fraction high.
Yeah, the style at my school was to get an undercut. You remember those? Those where you'd get the mushroom cut, but then they would pick your hair up and shave underneath it so the top of the mushroom flopped around.
Oh, I don't think I have to tell you I had that.
Yeah, you and I are close enough in age that, and then you would dye the top blonde, but you would leave the underneath brown as that jams for Grant Hardy, and that's a lonely ruby in there, Tyler, but yeah, it was not a good look, needless to say, and it didn't last very long.
These are the topics you're going to hear about at 8 a.m. on Tuesday morning, too.
9-5.
Yeah, we happened to get the only time my family ever did portraits was in the 6-month window where I had that hair, so it will live on in infamy, as they say.
I may have some frosted tips on our business cards for our Junior Worlds team in 2002 that have never, or 2001, that have never gone away.
I love the idea of going to a World Junior Championship with business cards. You know, we're doing a lot of deals out there.
Team Rosa was very professional. Thank you very much.
So second shot here for Duncan Menzies in the first end, and will jam it right by that Mouat red stone. That's an unfortunate miss there.
Yeah.
And you can hear the team might be a little upset about that.
We got our first drop in the jar already.
Yeah, that's right.
Not even an end in.
Yeah, I guess I could bring back the swear jar for the slam streams.
We'll have to ask the big boss.
Have to ask the boss, yeah.
What the standards are for these streams.
We did
the Hebert jar, we call it.
Yes, the Hebert jar. Raised quite a bit of money for the Sandra Schmerler Foundation over the years streaming. So we'll see what the swear jar looks like here at the slams.
Whoa! Yes! Whoa! Whoa! Clean! That's pretty good. Whoa! Holly! Whoa! Hurl! Hurl!
Oh, that's a really good shot.
That is lovely from Grant Hardy. Fantastic touch, and it was just, kind of a half miss from Duncan Menzies on his first, and, just missing on his second, and now all of a sudden Bruce Mouat looking set up for two with the hammer here.
Yeah, and the weight control is so important there too, John, because they didn't need to kill the second stone. They just needed to move it out of the fours and keep the shooter around, and it rolled to a perfect spot in the side of the 8-foot where there's no double available because it's behind that yellow stone on top of the 12s.
So it's a Cameron Bryce chase here on his first, needs a run back. It'll get by the guard, but over curls a little bit, and it is still Mouat lying one.
Yeah, it didn't roll to a good spot either. Now that stone in the back of the 4-foot is partially protected, so that brings 3 into play now for Mouat in an end where they were chasing and looking like they might be playing against a 3 or 4.
You have to roll with that. It's kind of like the drawing is easier.
Yeah, if Duncan Menzies makes his first one, you got Cameron Bryce lying 4. And now all of a sudden, as you said, Tyler, Mouat with the chance to potentially put a crooked number up here.
Just got to be smart with the calls. Like, we can't leave it until it's curling. Someday, not this.
Okay, 6 feet on.
Rock placement here, John, so important too, that you want this above the tee line If this goes behind, you leave a couple to freeze to get out of the end. So really wants this top 4 foot would be ideal. Have to get inside of that other yellow stone in the top of the 12s. We did see that draw over curl on this line earlier, so we'll keep an eye on this one.
Doesn't get the roll. We should have a hit and roll.
We did see Bruce put it on the pin with his last stone draw, so probably pretty dialed into draw weight here. But as you say, Tyler, the landing spot of utmost importance here. First rock for Bruce Mouat here in the first.
Hard line.
And it's starting to take off here a little bit.
Because we can't score. Curl.
Pretty good, exactly where we talked about, right to the top of the floors, inside that yellow roll shot as much as anything else. So you'd like to hit this just a hair high, you heard from Cameron, and they want the shooter to block off that draw path on this out-turn side that he's throwing. Really need to go to hold the line here, though.
Can't have this over curly. You need to get at least one of the reds. And a little bit of an audible, little nuzzle.
Good call there to get off that sweep. If they stay on that, it may catch a bigger piece of that stone on the top of the floors and kill neither stone.
Just make them work for the hit and roll. They're still learning with the ice,
So Bruce has the option here to draw for a second point or a hit. It looks like he's decided to hit here.
I think Bruce is thinking he's got a stopper on the outside of the sheet too, so he's got a pretty big margin for error playing the hit.
10's good, yeah. Thing with that ice, if I'm a 10-5,
yeah, agreed.
Okay.
It was like a centimetre buried from that one. Pretty scary throwing it. Probably throwing it like back line and trying to flop, and then might leave something anyway. Same with them, because we probably should just like played the hit no high. Just make them work for it. But yeah, we make the other one.
So final stone here for Bruce Mouat in the first end. He was chasing for a good portion of it, but has a chance to put up 2. And that is no trouble for the Olympic silver medalist and world champion. 2 on the board for Bruce Mouat. We'll get our first look at Cameron Bryce with the hammer when we come back.
Job well done. And the final work call. Where your place. Come as you are. And fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice. Eat locally, enjoy casual.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And it's the choice of champions.
Line's good.
Hello, curling fans. Welcome back into the Bell Alliance Center here in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. John Cullen alongside Tyler George here for this opening game in the triple knockout tournament between Bruce Mouat and Cameron Bryce. And it was an early 2 for Bruce. And Tyler, we kind of talked about it at the end of the first end there, that maybe a little bit of a disappointment for Bryce in that end. You know, they were kind of set up to force or maybe steal and end up giving up the 2. How do they regroup here in the second?
Well, they played a pretty good first end up until the last 3 shots or so where they were in control, really had good position too, and really just came down to one miss that turned things around. So I don't think you're feeling too bad about how you're playing. And you still managed to hold Bruce to a 2 in an 8-end game. Still a long ways to go. So just focus on executing the same way you did start the end off, get good position, and play to get your 2 back.
Good, Robin.
Nice corner guard there from Robin McCall, and we'll remind you that we are streaming every single game here at the Grand Slam this week, and that includes all 4 games that are going on this morning. This is the only game with player audio and commentary, but you'll be able to watch the other 3 games that are happening right now. It's Joel Retornaz up 1-0 on Corey Dropkin. Satsuki Fujisawa up 2-0 on Anna Hasselborg, and Reed Carruthers up 1-0 on Nicholas Adine. All those games available on Home Team Live.
I can guarantee you this is the only game where you're getting commentary about 7th grade haircuts.
That's right.
As well.
That's for sure, yeah.
Okay. 16.
I think that goes for probably most just curling events in general. I feel like takes a unique couple of guys to be talking about 7th grade.
I was going to say,
some
it
would say
depends
brave.
on who's calling.
Some would say brave guys, but
Top 12. Top 8.
eccentric maybe. Pick whatever term you like.
Just wait. Just for wait, Don. Just for wait. Can't bounce yet. 14-4 should be here. Should be here. Yep, line a little bit. Good.
Nice freeze there from Robin McCall.
Yeah, very well done. It's something we've noticed early in the game here too, John, is, and not unusual for slam ice. Not a lot of carry on the stones, so it really looks like they're cooking when they get to the hog line. And right about a foot or 2 before the house is when they really start to turn over and die. But again, that's something we kind of expect with slam conditions, is the speed will be there, but once it turns, it really kind of grinds to a halt.
Well, yeah, you heard Cameron Bryce kind of helping his team out there, right? He was timing the rocks. He said 14-4, it should be here. And you know this, as well as I do, playing lead my whole life as a sweeper, how much the rock can change in the way it looks, even from the hog line to the house.
Yeah, and having that help from the skip for the last 20 feet or so, really, it can make a big difference when they have that hog-to-hog time to use as a reference. The speed looks as though it's pretty consistent early in the game.
So there's another nice freeze there made by Bobby Lammy. And it looks like Scott Hislop being asked to kind of jiggle the pile here and roll behind the corner guard, but this is really curling.
Whoa, Whoa.
And indeed, it will tip that center guard, but that's not a terrible plan B, Tyler.
And not a surprise, John, to see the misses early in the game narrow. That always tends to be the case with slams, that you're just, again, getting used to that curl and figuring out where the break point is, because when it has that sharp turn, you really need to know when it's going to turn, because when it does, it's pretty much gone. You can't really save the line very well. So you have to anticipate when it's going to curl as opposed to react to it more than any other ice surface. That's something you do all the time in curling anyways, but especially here on slam ice.
Wait's okay. Yep. Hard.
Simple chase here for Bobby Lammy.
Hard, Hammy. Hard.
Yeah, as you mentioned, John, they did get a good result out of going behind the corner guard.
And somewhat similarly, Bobby gets a decent result out of that miss as well, guarding the shot stone.
Cameron looking to clean things up. Maybe lose all 3 of these reds if you catch it just right.
Yep.
Yeah, usually with the lively rocks at the slams, it is possible to make takeouts, and uh-oh.
And yet another narrow miss, too.
Yeah, that's a tough one there for Scott Hislop. Pretty much the worst possible result. Not only missing the pile, but taking out their own.
Now it's total control here for Team Mouat with how the rocks are set up.
Line's okay.
Just a guard here for Grant Hardy.
All you, Bob.
Stolen it. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
That's fine. You're there.
Gives the sweepers a break there.
Yeah,
nice little
very kind.
stroll down the sheet with the stone.
Always love that.
As my old teammate Joe Polo would say, they valet it down the sheet.
That's nice.
I always like that term.
That's nice. Yeah.
And one of the things you mentioned, John, with the misses too and getting good results, even the top teams in the world are going to miss. So the great teams like Team Mouat, you saw with that wrecking the guard and rolling to the center, get results out of misses still. They know the pro side.
Sorry, Bruce.
Oh, you're good.
That's a nice shot there from Duncan Menzies. Gets everything moving.
Yeah, I heard an apology there that may not have quite been where they were trying to hit it, but pretty good result overall. Bruce still in control at the end.
Yeah, still lying one buried.
The decision here for Bruce being hitting the open one to sit 3, but that would leave the draw path open for Cameron to attack. So taking that position away, playing the out turn.
We don't need to lose it in there.
Bruce with 6 slam victories to his name, but does not have a Tour Challenge championship. So, you know, he would love to add that to his trophy case this weekend.
Close.
Close,
Bob. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Stay close, Bob.
Line's good.
Line's good. Hammy's in. Hammy's
Doesn't
in.
need to
Top
curl.
in.
Doesn't need to curl.
Yep. Hard.
Yeah, that's lovely touch there from Grant Hardy and Team Mouat lying 2.
That's a perfect spot. And you heard them say, too, before the shot, we don't need to lose it, meaning it doesn't have to bury completely. That actually helps Team Bryce with the angles and maybe gives them a chance to get shot rock. So now exactly where that rock stopped is where they were calling it to again. Fantastic rock placement from Team Mouat.
We're going to be out of the way. 2/3.
Well, and I think, Tyler, this is really, you know, we've gotten to know this Team Mouat team really well over the last few years, and it's one thing they do so well. It's not like Team Bryce is playing poorly, but they have had a couple misses, and Team Mouat has just been there to pounce on those mistakes right away.
Yeah, that's what the great teams do. They take advantage of misses, and
Right to it.
now, again, in control of this end.
Just won't quite curl enough for Duncan Menzies and gets a little unlucky to lose his own. And so now it's Team Mouat lying 3 without the hammer here in the second.
Just looked a little bit more back than. Yeah. Again, I for like usual throw. So it's probably like somewhere in the middle.
Don't want to give him any to draw right. So I'm straight line with this.
Now again, Team Mouat looking at rock position and trying to take away Bryce's opportunity to score already with their first skip stone. So they're playing a guard, but they don't want to give him anything to draw around and give him an opportunity for 2. So this will be tight to the rings at the least, possibly even top 12 foot. A biter is probably ideal. Maybe just touching the center line on the right side of the sheet here from the overhead.
The 12 foot on the top one's still pretty good.
So the first rock here from Bruce Mouat in end number 2, and he's in control so far.
Line's good.
Lying 3, just looking to put a capper on it here.
Always you, Bob.
Maybe over curling just a little bit too. I don't want this all the way across the center line. Yeah, they're okay with it. Not a lot of scoring space where you can create a 2.
Yeah, I think that's close.
Try and keep on 2/3 of it. Yeah.
So this is the shot, John, where they're just trying to set something up for the last. If they freeze on the high side,
If we need to.
yeah, we'll let Cameron tell you.
Like 2/3 on the center side.
I love when they do that.
Yeah.
It's kind of the equivalent of a front ender just getting to walk down beside the stone. Same deal. I love a talkative skip that just explains what's going on so I don't have to.
Well, I'll be doing my old teammate John Schuster's game later today, and I'm going to let him call pretty much half of it for me. It'll be perfect.
Yeah, John does make it easy on a commentator.
Love calling his games.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, one thing John does that a lot of other players don't do so well is he'll also tell you what all the bad things that could happen are. Well, we can't do this, this, or this. So they were looking for the freeze here, but that's actually not a terrible result, Tyler.
Great plan B.
Yeah.
Still a piece of it showing for Bruce to pick out, but yeah, if you're not going to be frozen, then that's a great spot. They were ideally trying to be on the high side of the stone, frozen 2/3. So then Bruce would have to guard that shot for 2, and Cameron would still have an off of that corner guard for 2. That was their plan. But instead, actually buries a good portion of that stone behind the rock on the top of the course. And that's that late hard turn that we see on the slam ice that makes that possible. But again, fairly straightforward pick for Bruce.
Yeah, you can see from that angle there, he can't see a ton of it from the hack, just has to trust that it'll be there for him. Final stone, Bruce Mouat.
And one of those shots that's pretty much made out of hand with that type of weight and rotation. Perfectly done by Bruce.
Yeah, no trouble there for the skip from Sterling, and so Cameron Bryce will be facing 3 with a final draw. Needs the full 4-foot. One nice thing for Cameron here, Tyler, is he just threw it.
I'd say he probably wants to give himself a little more room. But yes, exact same weight would be perfect here. Just a draw to the button.
A little bit less. Not crazy less. Keep looking. Keep looking, boys. It's not curled.
So Menzies and McCall are going to try to shepherd this one into the 4-foot. Need the full 4, maybe a piece of the button. This looks maybe a little bit heavy. Will it slow down? Yes, it will. Very nice from Cameron Bryce. So it'll be 1. But Bruce Mouat keeps the lead, 2-1.
Cheers.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Goldline's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable.
And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms, light as a feather.
It's a Goldline.
It's a Goldline.
It's a Goldline.
And is the choice of champions.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled.
So a quick break there caught us off guard. Caught us off guard a little bit. We're just casually chatting, and
well, I was unaware that we were going to be on camera at any point after the intro.
Yeah, dang.
So that's a bonus for you at home.
Good thing my shirt was still on.
That's how I'd want to start my day if I was the viewers too. Is me and you on the camera at 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
6:30 back home Central. 5:30.
5:30 for me.
Where
Mountain.
you're from.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, I don't generally, when I'm at home, wake up in the middle of the night to call a curling game, but
Good
you don't?
Oh. I don't. I do it in my dreams sometimes, but I don't generally wake up to do it. So it's all right. We're alive. We're living. We're happy to be here, and
we have to stay on our toes here.
We do. Yeah. It's. I guess. Yeah, that's true. I'm not used to this. There is a camera on us that could be turned on at any time. I will have to keep that in mind as this event rolls along.
Might have to come back for draw 2 with frosted tips again now.
14-3.
I feel like if there's any place am going to get frosted tips. It's going to be Charlottetown PEI. I feel like they probably still know how to do it here pretty good.
I'm going to bring Hammy along.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Obviously.
for sure. He'll give us some good advice. That's not even frosted tips, though. That's frosted roots.
That's just full on.
That's just right to the bottom.
There's the man.
Yeah. Looks good.
Yeah, world champions can do what they like.
You can do whatever they
get
want.
Get away with it.
You got to be handsome enough to pull it off. I think it's working for Hammy. I think if you and I did it, it would be an abject disaster. My wife might not allow me to come home if I frosted these tips.
Go on, Carl.
Top 4.
Well, Hammy's going to appreciate you buttering his bread already,
if we're
too.
bouncing straight.
3 ends in.
Just get half round it. Okay, okay.
Under curls a little bit on the freeze attempt there, so good opportunity for Bruce to attack once again. Now deciding exactly how they want to do it.
Do you like this?
Yeah.
Keeps it a bit clear.
Give me 11-5.
I like this call, John. He was talking about the freeze originally. You have good position, but you're bunching stones up in the center of the sheet with hammer in the lead. You hit and roll away, and you're kind of forcing your opponent into freezing to 1 stone against a possible 3 already on lead stones. So I like this hit and roll away call from Bruce.
Yep, then. Hard.
Yeah, I like it too. Good call. And again, we're seeing both of these teams favor a pretty light takeout weight here.
Clean. Curl.
I heard 11-5 on the call, so just looking for solid hack to board. That's pretty close. There may be a hair soft.
Yeah, it looked like maybe a little less weight than they would have liked there.
Yeah, over curled again, just a hair. And again, that's not a miss, obviously, but the side that the misses are coming on are the narrow side consistently.
As you said, Tyler, early in the end, but a somewhat crucial shot here for Scott Hislop.
Take a look.
Carl, a mile.
Needs a freeze here, and this is way out there.
Just dunk and go.
That may be the commentator's jinx on that one.
Yep,
But still getting to dance a little bit. Definitely curling. And look at the finish on that stone. Duncan Menzies really turning that one over on the sweep, too.
Good. Good sweep.
Great spot for that one, and we heard the crowd erupt. The first applause of the day for a 3-ball for Nicholas Sedin on the sheet next door. They now lead Reed Carruthers 3-1.
And credit to Charlottetown, too. A fantastic crowd for an 8 a.m. draw.
Agreed.
On a Tuesday. We've done a lot of slams or attended them or played in them at least. And this is a very unusual.
Speak for yourself, Tyler.
I was bunching you in. Okay, you didn't have to say that.
I appreciate that. I was in one Tier 2 slam.
11.
Clean.
We made the semis though, so.
Clean. 11. Whoa.
I have fond memories of the Tour Challenge as we never did win a slam, but our highest finish on was the Tour Challenge in Paradise, Newfoundland, many years back. What a fantastic atmosphere that was. And
wow, what a shot there.
That's a great shot. Rolling out of the rings, too. The slams will be returning to the St. John's area the end of November.
Yeah, the Mary Brown Center, and I believe it's close to a sellout already. You want to talk about a packed crowd. It's going to be a wonderful time. That's coming up at the end of November, and sandwiched in between this event and that one will be in Nisku, Alberta at the start of November. All ticket information, of course, available at theGrandSlamOfCurling.com. We'd love to see you there.
Oh, you're going to be hearing a lot of us if you're not there. So if you want to avoid having to listen to our calls, get tired of us,
that's actually
you better show up in the arena.
That's a good ticket buying strategy. Are you tired of your commentators? I can already hear the infomercial. Do you wish they'd just shut up?
Buy tickets.
Buy
and
tickets.
Show up.
Yeah.
Back line.
And Team Bryce electing to hit the number 4 counter there. Probably trying to roll into the center and mix those up a little bit too, but
It's running a bit straight.
that yellow stone in the top of the 8th foot, even though it's 3rd count, still in a good spot.
That would be great, but then back here's okay.
Yeah.
You like
I
this?
don't mind if you wait hair high nose, you're blank for 2. which is quite a good spot in the third.
Probably bouncing off. It's just if it goes or not. Don't mind it.
Okay.
So it kind of sounds like the three guys in the hack did prefer the hit. You know, maybe you slam everything, give yourself the option for a blank, but Bruce seems to like the draw. What do you like here, Tyler?
I don't think you're ever in any trouble playing the draw. So, you know, if you get forced to a point, you're still up to without. But you have a good chance of getting a 2 or a 3 playing the draw. And again, without any center guards in play, there's no danger in playing this. So as long as you don't set up something that clears all 3, and I think that was a concern for the rest of Team Mouat as well, is we don't want to put this in a spot where they can get rid of all 3 of them. This one really turning over, though.
Yeah, just looked like it hit a spot about halfway down where it broke early, and
50.
That'll just nestle right on top. And it sounded like Bruce had 15, which has been close to draw weight, so I just wonder maybe, Tyler, a bit of a fresher path there, leading to that rock curling early and slowing down there.
Yeah, it's entirely possible, and we do see a ton of curl going to the outside of the sheet on these surfaces too. That's really the first draw they've thrown going out to the corner. So maybe just surprise them with the speed coming off of it with the amount of curl it had.
So potentially an escape valve here for Team Bryce with that Bobby Lammy miss.
Clean. I love it. Yep. Whoa. Carl. Whoa.
He's trying to punch this red rock out and sit right there. It's Duncan Menzies. Just like that.
And that's so important that they placed that stone where they did, getting that curl. They could always use that to get out of this end.
I should have curled that.
Peel everything.
And Bruce playing for the blank now instead. See if they can get all of these moving. May catch their own red as well, but Bruce has no problem with that at this point.
Yeah, we know Grant Hardy can throw a bullet if he needs to, and I think we'll see one here.
Yep. Gotta go. Hard, Bob.
I'm trying to hold it to get all of them going. Those live rocks again, though. John, no problem with that top stone. In your curling club, you may not think that that stone is going to go out of the side of the house. But
and it might not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't throw it as hard as Grant, and if your bands aren't as live and your houses aren't as live.
Yeah. Yeah, you can really see with these this slam set of stones, the striking band's very narrow, which usually leads to a little bit more action, and got a good look at it there. That was they actually went pretty easy. I wasn't sure, but that was a nice shot there from Grant Hardy. And now you got Team Bryce drawing around a corner guard without the hammer, which you don't see too often.
Yep, yes.
Duncan Menzies now drawing under the corner, trying to play a force. Make Team Mouat play for one. Avoid the blank end. They like the line.
15, you've got to go on this. Keep it
So it's
moving,
the same
boys.
time as Bobby's
Keep it moving.
15, but it's the second rock down the same path, so sometimes that will speed it up there, and that's very nice from Duncan Menzies.
Yeah, really well swept there. No, forces, because of the way the guards are set up too, there's no run, so forces Mouat to play the freeze and try to play for 2.
Where's that? Robin! Where? It's like top 4.
Get them up to neutral.
You're probably having to put it top 8. Try and say half on it.
Yeah, that was the unfortunate part about the Bobby Lammy miss, Tyler, was that not only coming up short of the rings, but staggering that guard.
Yeah, we're a bit away.
Yeah, it does give Team Bryce the opportunity to possibly get a force and get out of this end, but a good freeze here will bring 2 right back into the picture.
Seen a few rocks down this path now. We'll see if Grant Hardy can navigate it successfully.
Yeah, they're just trying to pick this stone out, actually, as opposed to playing the freeze.
Bobby Lammy is on this. Can they get by the guard? They do.
Oh, look at that shot.
That's very nice from Grant Hardy.
That's so good. Great touch.
11-4.
Especially, you know this as well, playing third for as long as you did. It's not always easy to follow a bullet with a soft weight takeout like that, not overthrow it.
Well,
it's really well done.
It wasn't as hard for some of us that don't throw as high of a bullet.
Yes.
But yeah, the difference in the two shots and making the adjustment from peel weight to that nice board hack weight going inside out. And these guys have every shot in the book, no surprise at all. But that's the type of shot that when you make early in the game, early in the tournament, it gives you a lot of confidence in how you're feeling the ice too.
So it does look like we are heading towards Blanksville here.
10-4 loss for
Gotta say a call in to get a glove for Scott. Say about the glove.
Yeah.
What glove is it?
It's just like the black one, fully black one.
Now you may see Team Mouat try to roll to the opposite side of the center line here just because a nose might leave a possible roll under the corner to make the blank tougher. So they want to keep it away from that corner side and take that force out of play completely.
It's all soft on throws. Didn't really back in much to start it.
First rock here for Bruce Mouat in the third.
Whoa, clean, yep. Hard. Really gonna go.
Hard, Scott. Right at the line. Go.
And they picked this up early. You don't want to roll out here. Do not want to roll out here.
Yeah, that's a big error there from Bruce. Again, they did try to roll that way, but not that far. So now an opportunity, as you see Hammy trying to hold that stone. But again, once they go with that sharp break, it's so hard to hold the line. And now an opportunity for Team Bryce to bury one underneath
14-5's nice.
and get that force.
Yeah, we don't see Bruce miss too many like that. That was an open hit, and really you end up anywhere in the house, you're in pretty good shape. So final stone here for Cameron Bryce in the third, and trying to bury this one.
I like the way, boys. I like the way.
To force Bruce into a draw for one.
Robbins.
This is definitely a wider track than the other draws down this way.
Line's good. Keep it curling. Keep it curling.
Hard, Robin. Right up.
Keep it curling. Hard.
You see Menzies sweeping at that for the next end. Kill an end and play for a deuce, but the rollout now does force Bruce into a draw for one.
Blame the road.
No.
I was confused. Huh? I was confused when I talked about tired and still standing there. Good force.
Yeah.
Final stone, Bruce Mouat just needs full 8 foot.
Got a bit of room. Line's fine. Line's good.
One red.
A rare mistake on his first one, but no mistake on his last. 3-1, Mouat leads.
In the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a gold line.
it's a gold line.
It's a gold line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mike's. Eat locally, enjoy casually.
Well, Tyler, there hasn't been a ton of joy yet for Cameron Bryce, but maybe they'll take a little bit of solace out of forcing Bruce to one there in the third. But now with the hammer in the fourth, you got to think they got to start getting some points on the board here.
Yeah, this will be a pretty hard push to get a 2.
15.
You still have 5 ends left in the game, so you're not running out of time. But with Hammer here in the 4th end, really like to tie this game up at the very least, and see Team Mouat going to center guard with the 2-point lead. It's something that we see a lot more, John, with the no-tick zone and the 5-rock rule, all these rules that have changed over the last decade. More aggressive play from teams with the lead, which, again, for viewing and commentating purposes, we like seeing that.
We love it. Yep, absolutely.
Good line now.
I like to think they're doing it specifically for us.
Good there, Doug.
I mean, we didn't ask, but I probably would.
Yeah,
if we needed to.
I would ask. I have no shame in that.
Takes a while to go. Feels just maybe it's because breaking an og line almost.
I think it was pretty much an automatic call if you even go back 10 years that a 2-point lead and 5 ends to play without a hammer, you're going right to the top of the 4th foot, and that's just not the case anymore.
Line's okay. We've got room.
Sometimes the best defense is a good offense.
Carl.
Something I'm really going to enjoy asking Brent Lang about in the late morning game. We'll have me back here with
14-5.
3-time world champion Brent Lang, and God knows how many times slam champion. We'll have to check on that, but be joining me here in the booth and talk about how curling was so much better back when we were in our competitive days, and how these guys could never play with us. And
yeah, that's right. Wow, they're throwing a center guard up too. These guys, these young kids don't know what the hell they're doing.
Top 14.
Yeah, you two will be back on the call for John Schuster versus Brad Jacobs. That'll be our feature game at 11:30 a.m. local time. That's 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 a.m. Pacific. I have the tough job of going golfing with Bruce Mouat after this. So.
Oh, that's the function that you texted about?
Yeah. For work.
You said in the thread it was something I have to do with Team Mouat.
I do.
Sounded so professional.
No, but it is.
Now we understand.
We're filming them golfing. It's for content, Tyler. It's for content.
That's exactly what it is.
Yep.
Yeah, you're going to have plenty of content swinging your clubs too, I'm sure.
I don't think I'm invited. I don't think I'm invited to golf.
No, it's fine. Those of us, Brent and I, stay here and do our jobs. That's fine. It's no big deal. You go golf. Freeze attempt there just bounces off a touch.
Yeah.
Sure, John didn't care. He's just thinking about how he's not going to snap hook the 7-iron today.
I hear the course is really nice that we're going to. I don't know much about it.
I'm sure it is.
Right on the Atlantic Ocean, I believe.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
I hope you have a great time.
I will. I'll send you some pics.
I'm sure you'll do that too.
Yeah.
All the way to it. All the way to it.
Well, perfect hit and roll there.
Very nice from Bobby Lammy.
Back 4.
It's so tough to attack for Team Bryce when you see this. And again, just that little inside roll, perfectly positioned. And in order to score, they have to move these stones now. So for Team Mouat, that's the whole point in throwing that center guard is you're making Team Bryce waste stones having to clear things.
Carl. Whoa. Straight. Whoa. Good.
Yeah, it's very nice there from Scott Hislop. All 3 Reds go.
Not familiar with Scott's game, but great make there.
Looked pretty good, yeah.
His feet under him here at the slam.
I was going to ask you about that, Tyler, because this is a situation you're maybe a little familiar with Cameron Bryce. Obviously, they're a Scottish team, but not funded by British curling. We know Team Mouat, Ross White, James Craik are the funded teams for the Scottish Curling Federation, and Bryce kind of trying to make their own way, something you're a little familiar with from your USA curling days. Talk to me a little bit about that. As a team that doesn't maybe get that government funding, what are some of the things that you did back in your day to kind of mitigate that?
It's not that it changes your game really at all. It changes your mentality a little, and it's a little extra fire in the belly that you just have to tell yourself that you have to win to the point that they have no choice but to recognize you or to get enough wins under your belt that if they have an automatic, trigger for funding, then you earn that. Or just, you beat the top teams enough, then you earn your way there. And you don't count on anybody else to recognize it. You just have to keep winning. Whether you have the backing or not, it doesn't change when you're out on the ice against these teams that you have to be better than them.
Hard, Robin, you got to go.
Yeah, be undeniable seems to be a common theme, right?
Yep. Bounce it, bounce it, bounce it, bounce it.
And unfortunately for Scott Hislop, can't follow up that fantastic first shot. Wrecks the guard there.
Yeah.
So it's Mouat lying one without hammer here in the fourth end.
I hate to be a broken record, but the trend continues with the misses being on the narrow side.
Yeah, it felt good out of hand. I thought it was like air heavy.
Well, like we said off the top, Scott, younger player, just 22, fresh out of juniors. Probably hasn't played a ton on arena ice, and it is definitely an adjustment, as we've been talking about all game. And maybe he's just learning a few lessons out here this morning about release point and rotation.
Both of you. Like see it curl a touch? No, don't curl.
Easily, yeah.
Grant Hardy will plug the hole.
16-4.
Just air high just now.
The one good thing for Team Bryce is that they control most of the front, so they have options if they want to play any stones in. Still a lot of end left.
Looks like just a straight run back double here for Duncan Menzies.
Whoa! Straight! Whoa, whoa!
Wrong nose. Wrong nose.
A bad break there. Throw it that hard. It's tough to nose it and not have it roll somewhere, but they do control the front.
Yeah, no question about that. It's a lemon orchard out front of the house here. But the one rock that counts is a ruby.
Just don't really want to bounce off. And it's okay if you do, I guess.
Held it straight, it's probably mid. Yeah. Damn. Yeah.
There's that intern path coming off the boards and even going a little bit farther out. So it'll be interesting to see how this runs.
Hard line if you can.
Plenty of rotation again.
Hard line. Line's okay. Line's good.
Again, you see the early sweep to make sure they're by. That's just smart to get it before there's any chance of breaking.
Hard line. Hard.
Want to get by their own too, though.
Hard. And again. And again. And again. And again.
Just touches it, but still a good spot.
13-5.
Yeah, just unfortunately with where that one ended up, it does make the run double fairly easy here for Duncan Menzies. I mean, I say easy, it's a 10-foot run back, but...
Easy on the angle, at least.
Exactly,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that gets by, it's a little bit tougher to clear both stones, which is why they were trying to sweep to get around their own red.
Carl!
Close.
Okay.
And they'll only get one of them. Will it stick around? Yes, it will.
Yeah, very important that that rock stays in the outside 12-foot. Now, you can't really guard because any run-in is to sit to or to get to if it's on last shot.
Sorry about the first one. It was kind of like curled, and then it was like it's on stuff, so I was trying to get it to cross a little bit. It's like,
But you probably can.
it's almost, those ones are almost like the thrower needs to call because they probably know what they do with the release. Yeah. And they've got if they're leaving that, they're playing a split, and they might leave us a double or something, or a run and leave a bit of border.
But could try that, I guess, if you wanted to. Back line.
The other thing is just regards. The 60 angle run, we just give them two.
There's that much play out in the 12 foot if you get like middle 4, middle 8.
That's a big weight to get under there, and even if he does, then I could.
That's how Bobby got caught. He got in the wing early, like the last end as well. Yeah, well, then he's got to make a really good split. We should have a double. Or like a hit and roll.
Yeah. Even if I'm top 8, I guess. Yeah.
All this conversation again, John, because that stone stayed in the outside of the 12-foot, So it's less about positioning and more about what's their plan for the rest of the end. Are they okay with giving up 2? If you hit the outside one, or if you guard,
14.
you are giving your opponent an opportunity for 2.
It's one of those ones where it's that hard to not under curl. Over curl here.
Yeah.
It does appear as though they're
I suppose if they're high of it, it's fine. But
just
if they're
fine
deep,
with
it's just a nose.
giving Bryce an opportunity for 2, but playing around the outside. So I'd really like to get this to the 4-foot, John, because then the hit and roll off of that stone on the center line won't be shot rock.
Gotta be shot, guys.
Now they want this to be shot stone. This is really dying. Oh, just playing it to top 12. So they looked like they were going to side 4, but they did elect to just play it to the top of the 12-foot.
I think that wasn't audible. It certainly seemed like they wanted it in the 4-foot.
Yeah, tough to tell. Try to give them the benefit of the doubt and not us.
Fair, but I think you were right. We did hear them say they wanted that stone to be shot.
Sorry, we're playing like the run and try and go here.
They may have meant just to be shot over the yellow one too, but does accomplish the main goal.
Over here. Then he's got to play the split, or he's playing the hit and roll over here and giving us a double.
I don't mind making that. Yeah.
No, here high. And try and get the yellow over there. Like, not the run double, just because I think we know we've just got this for their next.
Here.
I think we're needing to play the roll at 9 as well. It's quite tight. No, it is. But well, I'm just saying, if he goes, well, if he just puts it in the 8-foot, then we've got that, or we're going. No, but I don't think we're playing it for 3 either. That's a lot easier for 2 than making that perfect. 9.
Yeah, I think this is the right call here. You're giving yourself the simplest shot to have a chance for 2. If you play that run double, it's a high difficulty shot, even though it's relatively short, and doesn't guarantee that you're going to get 2 anyways making it. If you can roll this underneath, very difficult for Team Mouat to get to it, so they may have to draw to try to avoid a 2. I like this call.
Well, and if you miss the run, brings a steal into play too.
Also true, yes.
Clean. Just clean.
So big stone here for Cameron Bryce. Needs a little flop.
This took a hard turn.
Yes, it did.
Roll it.
Yeah, just that sharp turn again. It looked like it was right where they needed it to be.
On the guard to the hog line. It was on the guard to the hog line.
Yeah, you hear Cameron saying it was on the guard to the hog line. He's talking about the wide guard that they had to get off.
That was probably closer than normal and still curls.
Catlin Schneider with a run double on the sheet next to him. Didn't help him beat me in fantasy football this week, but
yeah, unfortunately,
should have started
curling
Walker
shots don't
Jr.
count.
Yeah, his fault.
Easy peel.
Nice shot, Cat, but I'll take the W. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for that to happen. Oh. Just
I could tell you had that teed up.
Didn't take long.
Yeah.
Great shot though.
It was a great shot. Really nice. Yeah.
Just taking that anger out.
Final stone here for Bruce Mouat.
Close. Yep. Whoa. Yep.
Looking for a hit and flop. And he will find it. Very nice.
Yeah, really well done.
High.
Obviously, the difference between getting the roll there for Team Bryce, where you bring that 2 into play, now it's not a great angle for any way to score going in.
Yeah, you're running this in, and as you say, not a great angle, and you miss the run, and you're giving up a steal of 2. So a lot of pressure here on Cameron Bryce, but there's not really an easy way to score 1 here either, Tyler. So.
No. Yeah, this is absolutely the correct shot. There's not much way in. That tap probably isn't any easier than playing this run double.
So final stone for Cameron Bryce, and it's a big one. Could be a game changer if he makes it. He's got one, but does not have the second one. Very good try for Cameron Bryce, but it will be a steal of one for Bruce Mouat. We'll head into the fourth end break. Bruce Mouat leading by 3.
When you've conquered another game, a long day, a job well done, and the final work call, we're your place. Come as you are and fit in comfortably. Mr. Mice, eat locally, enjoy casual.
Something a lot earlier on just to put them under pressure.
All right, we are back, and it is an official fourth end break here, Tyler. I didn't know that we rolled breaks at the Slams, but 3-minute break. We can talk about the first half of the game. Bruce Mouat leading 4-1 over Cameron Bryce. What do you make of the first half of the game so far?
Just not a big surprise in how this game has gone. Not that Team Bryce has played poorly by any means, but when you have a team to the quality of Bruce Mouat's team, you're just not going to get mistakes even early in the tournament. So Bruce is sharp early, and that gives you so much confidence going into the rest of the tournament to play well and read the ice as well as Bruce is. And it's small things, they're not big misses, but it's just over curling, especially a few times on Bryce's shots, and something that we've mentioned many times already in the first half of this game, that miss is narrow. And if I had $1 for every time we said that in slam play, especially early on, I mean, it's just not an unusual thing to see at all.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely seems like that's been the issue for Team Bryce so far. Team Mouat just picking up on the ice a little bit better early on, and that has led to the 4-1 lead. We'll update you on the other action happening around the rings here in Charlottetown. A reminder that all of these games are streaming and available on Home Team Live. Right beside us, it is Nicholas Adine and Reed Carruthers locked in a battle. It's tied 3-3. Adine has the hammer. They're playing 4, and that's looking like it's heading for a blank end. Right beside them, it's the Japanese team, Satsuki Fujisawa, up against Anna Hasselborg, and it's Fujisawa out to an early 3-1 lead in that one. Hasselborg has the hammer. They're playing the 4th. And beside them, it's your compatriots, Corey Dropkin, in a very tight battle with Joel Returnaz. A little cagey so far. 2-1 Returnaz leads Corey Dropkin with hammer, and he's about to throw his last here, and it looks like it's just a hit for 1. So it may be 2-2 heading into the fourth end break on that one.
Yeah, Team Dropkin playing with 3 for this entire tournament with Mark Fenner with a hip injury. And we see the highlights from the first half of our game here too. That nice draw to the side of the button for a single for Team Bryce. That is the only point that they've hung in this game so far. And again, Team Mouat, at least 2 of the first 4 ends, John, was chasing for the first half and just got a half miss somewhere along the line, or made a great shot to turn things around and flip the script on Team Bryce. So it's not as though it's been domination from Team Mouat, just making the right ones, and less mistakes really is the biggest thing.
Yeah, exactly, and really, I think the first end was the most emblematic of that. There was a shot Cameron Bryce had for a chance to lie 4. They missed that. 2 shots later, Mouat's looking set up for 2 or maybe even 3. So
yeah, we see that hit and roll opportunity there on the replay from the 4th. That's a big swing there, because it's a great opportunity for Cameron to possibly get a 2 and tie the game up, and instead now he's playing a run-back double for a 2, but a much tougher shot than they would have had, and against a steal instead. So the small things, just not quite getting the sweep in time on that roll, leaving that shot, and Bruce again capitalizes on that half miss, gets the roll perfectly himself, and there's the difference. Could be 3-3 and we'd have a much different conversation, but instead 4-1 Mouat going into the second half of the game.
Where are we getting? Just go 1?
No doubt. Thank you for joining us wherever you're watching from, and we know it could be anywhere in the world, as these streams are available for free worldwide all weekend long here on the Grand Slam of Curling. It is the HearingLife Tour Challenge live from the Bell Alliance Center in Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. John Cullen alongside 2018 Olympic gold medalist Tyler George here. And now, Tyler, is where we see your throwback play of quote-unquote throwback of throwing the first rock in the house, but makes a little more sense now, one end deeper in the game and up 3.
Yeah, I would have been awfully surprised to see the center guard in this situation after throwing it in the fourth with the 2-point lead. More conventional now going into the 4-foot and then following with the center guard after that still. But Team Mouat hoping to keep Team Bryce chasing, eliminate their opportunities to attack and score multiple points. A good placement from the first 2 from Hammy. As a guy that played against both senior and junior, I'm still tempted to call him junior, as his father does.
3 if we can, get some distance. Line's good, Art's got.
I think it would make you sound very fatherly if you were to.
I don't have a problem with that at this point.
No, short. Never off, never off, never off. Okay. Good sweep.
I've been bruised up by both of them on and off the ice, I should say.
Yeah, yeah. Whomst among us, say Tyler?
Yeah.
So 2 corner guards up here for Cameron Bryce.
Line's good. Stay close, Hammy.
And
T-line. Line's okay.
another draw in here for Bobby Lammy behind that center guard.
And the 2 corners, John, that's a philosophy thing for teams that varies around on tour, whether they go corners on opposite sides or 2 on the same side. Obviously, Team Bryce prefers the 2 on the same side. And I think you see that more often than not now, too, that they stack as opposed to playing to opposite sides.
12. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a boys just getting the hack early and get ready to go.
Yeah, what do you think? Is that your preferred method as well? You like the same side stack?
I was kind of on the way out right around when that started to change, but
so you're like, I've never thought about it. I've never had to think about it.
Well, again, it's so much of our careers were during 4 rock.
Absolutely.
So it made no sense to stack them on the same side because if you're putting them close to each other, then they're both gone.
Good there, Scott.
And again, we do see Scott Hislop a little bit tight there. We've talked about that. He's been struggling with that all game. It's not a horrible result, but should be wide open here for Bobby.
If it catches it a hair thinner, it's a great result, moving the center and getting under the corners. But still open now for Team Mouat to access with Bobby Lammy's intern.
Whoa. 9.
Shot.
As cool as you like from Bobby Lammy, and Bruce Mouat lies 4 without hammer.
Shout out to broadcast partner Brent Lang. Texted he's up and watching on the stream now. Heroically made it to Charlottetown last night, despite all the things that stood in his path, to be here for you all to listen to and to carry us through these broadcasts this week.
I heard they made him fly the plane.
Controller.
They were short a pilot, and Brent said, I'm a 3-time world champ. I can handle this.
Yeah, I believe I can be of assistance.
Yep.
This is really where Team Mouat starts to roll to get the lead, play that clear game. They're such a good defensive squad.
Roll it across.
But part of that defense was the rock placement starting the end off, too. So, I mean, if your opponent's playing doubles looking at 4 when you have a 3-point lead, then you're in the driver's seat.
Yeah, you're feeling pretty good, and that's a nice shot from Scott Hislop. Doesn't quite roll far enough over to that red one, so it'll be another open hit for Grant Hardy.
Yep. Whoa. Clean. Whoa. Curl.
Bobby Lammy really trying to bring this one over.
10-2.
And that's the side you want to be on regardless, though. You don't want to have to try to hold it on these ice conditions. You can always get it to turn over a little bit more, and that's counterintuitive to what we've always said with curling. The wide side is the bad miss, but here, when it's narrow, it's gone on this type of ice. So getting that to turn over, that strong finish still sticks around. Again, good position for Team Mouat.
Yeah, especially when you have guys like Lammy and Hammy sweeping. That also helps too. When they're the ones who are bringing your rock over for you, you're in a pretty good place to be maybe a little bit wide as opposed to a little narrow.
I'm trying to hold this, but just touches that stone on the top of the 12s, and would have been awfully deep if it did get by, but open hit now.
Same.
You see just that little redirect off the top of the 12s, but may have been necessary.
Out of hand, it seemed like
that's what I mean. Like,
yeah, it's just been that narrow miss all game long. Duncan Menzies, as you said, Tyler, probably a little heavy there, but also clipping that guard, and now it could once again lie 4 without Hammer here.
A good shot, a little roll towards the center to stay away from the corner too.
12.
Would have liked to roll it even maybe a foot or two farther ideally, but any roll away from where those corner guards are stacked is a good result. Rocking the top 12s, essentially serving as another corner guard.
You know why Mark's up there?
Yep.
So they really need a roll here, do Team Bryce. Scott Hislop leaning on this one. Did they overcook it? Oh, no.
It's 11, boys.
Oh, jeez.
A little miscommunication on the weight sounded like there.
Yeah, it was just heavier than Cameron was expecting, I think.
Made a point to say the weight immediately, so guessing they were looking for more like hack. Ended up being a solid board.
So that's an unforced error there for Team Bryce in a game where they can really not afford any more of them. You make that roll and 2 is potentially in play, but now it'll be once again Bruce Mouat just drawing to lie 4.
Grant, try and put it like edge on edge.
Unless I like second and a half off. Like you're gonna
even fully out, kid.
Hit it perfect for 12, 12 and a half.
Fully out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Can't really generate anything. Not making them waste shots either.
Now, John, all about rock placement again, and where are you taking away Bryce's opportunity for 2? On their final shot, they'll be making it as difficult for Bryce to score if there's no 2. But right now, it's where can we place this stone that makes it the most difficult for our opponent to find 2 points.
Okay, we're over, Carlin.
So they're taking that draw path away.
Don't want to be too deep here.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think so.
This is similar to what we saw a couple ends ago, Tyler, where you're freezing to try to set something up on your last one.
There, but then we can't ever play that. Yeah, make him maybe double run if you get it back there.
Really difficult to get shot rock with this freeze, but there really isn't anywhere else to go.
Sounds like they're talking about drawing around both the reds here, Tyler.
I think they're just guarding or blasting one of the 2. Like if we put it in the perfect spot where they can't blast it, they're guarding it, we can't play off it, so.
And you hear Cameron talking through what they expect Mouat to do if they played that freeze. So now electing, as you said, to go around both stones instead. Just try to be shot rock and bury as much as they can.
Yeah, not easy. There's not a lot of room to get around these 2 reds. You're almost drawing to a postage stamp here, but such is the desperate times that Team Bryce finds themselves in here. Down 3 and drawing against 4.
Yeah. Hard, Robin, hard. Hard. Way on way. Call now.
Plenty of weight.
I don't want this to be too heavy. Grant Hardy carrying this one back, and that'll go far enough back that it is still Mouat lying 4, it looks like 3 for sure.
Yeah, they're just waiting for where that break would start coming off the center line, and they kind of run until it crosses it.
I didn't get it.
And just didn't take the turn as early as they expected. The weight maintained and just carries to the back of the 12.
It's just, it might leave a quad.
So they're just trying to choke off the draw path here, I think, Tyler.
Play the dead draw.
Yeah, they'd really like to leave this probably top 8 close to center line. Almost splitting center, maybe just a hair on the left side from this overhead. Just have to be high enough that nose isn't shot rock.
No, still you, Hammy. Hard down. Put it on the tee.
They're going to have a draw no matter what, but they're just trying to make it as difficult as possible.
Okay, Grant said put it on the tee here, so they're maybe calling an audible. They're trying to draw around everything and maybe just forcing Cameron to draw against 4 or 5, but comes up a little short, so there is a draw path here for Cameron Bryce.
Time did you get on that?
Facing a bunch, though.
What time did you get on that?
I thought it was heavy.
Yeah, that was 14.
And Bryce is throwing the same shot that he would have been throwing, but with a considerable amount more space to make it, which makes it a little more comfortable.
I think just an easy clean would go. Like, it's just sliding a little bit there.
Needs a piece of the forefoot here, does Cameron Bryce, facing 3 or 4 here with his last.
I like that. I like that.
Says he likes it out of the hand.
It looks there. It looks there, Doug.
Nothing from McCall and Menzies yet.
Line's fine. Line's fine. 14-4.
14-4 should be all there.
Will it stop? Will it stop? Wow. Oh my goodness. Sweepers seemed like they thought that was all there, but that slides into the back 12-foot.
2 red.
And so it's a steal of 2 for Team Mouat. 6-1, they lead.
When it comes to the game we love, having the right gear makes all the difference.
Gold Line's new curling shoes and brooms are a game changer.
The shoes, unbelievably comfortable. And the brooms, lightweight and effective, giving you control on every sweep.
When I step onto the ice, I'm not just prepared, I look sharp.
Have you seen these shoes? They are a game changer.
And the brooms? Light as a feather.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
It's a Gold Line.
And is the choice of champions.
I've stood at the pinnacle of curling and battled in the most intense games.
Out on the ice, there's no room for compromise.
And when the pressure's on, every millimeter counts.
It's not just a game.
It's about maximizing performance,
Pushing limits.
Seizing victory.
When victory hangs in the balance,
I know what I'm relying on.
it's a Gold Line.
it's a gold line.
It's a Gold Line.
And it's the choice of champions.
When you've conquered another
14-4, yeah.
So things have gone from bad to worse for Cameron Bryce. Just needed a piece of the forefoot, ended up being about 4 feet too heavy. Steal of 2 for Bruce Mouat. Now they lead 6-1. And look, Tyler, I don't know how else to put it, but really, is there any way back here for Team Bryce with only 3 ends to play?
I mean, a 5-point deficit to a team with Mouat's caliber is fairly insurmountable, but that's really not the main goal now for Team Bryce. You really want to play a good end here, try to score a 2 or 3. If you get yourself back in the game, great, but you want to feel like you get a better feel for the ice again now. With these last few misses, it's been misreading weights, and misses early in the game have been slight misreads on line. Just play a good end or 2, get a good rhythm to carry into your next game, and get some positive momentum.
Yeah, as we know, this is a triple knockout tournament, so losing your first game, never ideal in a triple KO, but we'll see if they can find their way through it here. The winner of this game will move on to face the winner of Yannick Schwaller and Kevin Cooey. That game coming up at 11:30. That's local time. And the loser will drop down to the B side to also play the loser of Yannick Schwaller and Kevin Cooey. And as we know, Tyler Cooey once again playing with 3 this week after they announced that they had cut Jacques Gauthier from the team. Haven't yet found his replacement, so they're here with 3. And Yannick Schwaller is had a great start to the season, a couple wins, fresh off of a couple wins, and they'll be looking to pounce, I would imagine, in a couple hours' time.
Now, the slams are very unique in that for most of our curling lives, we're conditioned to think, okay, we may have lost a game, but okay, we'll drop down and have a little easier path through. Not in a slam. No. There's no down games here. You better be ready to play each and every draw.
Line's good.
And the triple knock, very simple, obviously, with the 16 teams. Win 3 before you lose 3, for the most part. And the math's not tough. The group format is always interesting because you get the 2 wins, you think we have a chance based on what the tiebreaker scenarios end up being, but not the case here. 2 wins is not going to get you through.
I always like when the math is easy. It's preferable for me as a not smart guy.
I didn't see math in the contract before we came in, so.
That's good. It was my understanding there would be no math.
Where are you? T-line. Well then. Whoa.
So already 2 in the rings here for Team Mouat, and Bobby Lammy looking to put a 3rd into the middle, and Cameron Bryce deciding this time, Tyler, to split the corner guards.
A little different mode of operation here for Bryce, maybe just trying something different with the 5-point deficit. And again, you see the fantastic rock placement from Team Mouat to start the end. And it just, John, makes it so hard to generate offense when that center is plugged up with stones above the tee line. You can't really use them at all for your advantage. And at some point, in order to use the corner guards, they have to move all 3 of those red stones.
Yeah, and this is definitely the strategy that you'd be playing when you want to try to score 2 or 3 here, ignoring all 3 in the middle and coming around the corner guard here.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of tapping stones to try to create pockets and angles yet from Team Bryce, but I think this may be the end they're forced to based on where these rocks are and obviously the scoreboard situation.
I think it will move an inch, yeah.
Straight peel now for Bobby Lammy.
Yep. Clean.
No mistake.
Another one.
Yeah, it's cruise control right now for Team Mouat, but very important too, especially for our younger viewers, to not lose your edge, lose focus just because you're playing simple shots and these peels. Go through your same routines. Don't change anything.
Yeah, we actually saw, you didn't see it on camera, but here in the arena, Bobby actually reset before that throw. Didn't like the way he was set up in the hack. And like you said, Tyler, can be easy to lose focus. Oh, we're winning by 5. I didn't get set exactly right. Who cares? I can probably still make the shot. But he took the time to reset and made no mistake on the peel. Fortunately for Scott Hislop, this will over-curl out the other side of the guard, so it is accessible for Grant Hardy to pick out.
And you may be wondering why they're electing to hit this stone as opposed to the open one. If they leave that stone and hit the open one and don't roll in, you could draw around again and stagger it in a way that would make it more difficult to pick either stone out.
It's well done by Grant.
Shifting stuff now, or make the hit and roll. Just if they throw a guard. Yeah.
This was 49 and 15.
It's likely the last time Team Bryce will be able to try to draw around the corner, as they do need to move those red stones fairly soon.
Never.
Sweepers think this one is heavy from Duncan Menzies.
Yeah, it's just now leaving the center line. That's a bad sign. You heard 13-3, so that should be easily through.
Okay, Duncan.
It's been one of those mornings for Team Bryce.
Yeah, and that is not a slam ice thing. That's an all curling ice thing. The fastest spot on the sheet in general is usually the center line. And, you know, that time surprised them. Even halfway down the sheet, they're calling, you know, back 8, but it's well past that too. Just staying on that center line and coasting, not taking the turn until almost the hog line.
So, Tyler, we're seeing them hitting the one in the house here as opposed to peeling the guard. What do you think the reason is for that?
It's going to be really difficult to use the guard for any purpose now, so you're just eliminating the one in play. I don't think Team Bryce can draw under the corner anymore, so that, the guard really doesn't do them much good.
Just try and open them up.
So it is once again Mouat lying 4 without the hammer.
Try and kill one of them. Happy just leaving 3 there. Making the roll and moving this. Leave some pockets.
Yeah, you heard the word we used earlier now, creating pockets finally now at this point. Thought they might do it with the previous shot, maybe waiting one too long. But they're going to try to roll under the corner here too and create some better angles. They're thin half, so this is probably a
you can go across if you want.
solid hack weight somewhere in
You can go a
there.
little thinner this way to make the roll.
Really want to move all 3 of these red stones and ideally get that shooter underneath the corner.
We'll see what Duncan Menzies can do here. Team Bryce running out of time both in this end and in the game.
Whoa! Carl! Yeah, Carl. Roll it. Okay.
And they don't really create a pocket, nor do they get the roll.
I think so. I think you just get rid of it. Got to be a wee bit wary of this. I think you just have
Yeah,
to
those 2 red stones dead lined up in front of each other is still very good for Mouat.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for Duncan Menzies. Hasn't had the best game here this morning.
Don't go over the top of the back.
So Bruce is just going to pick this one out. We'll give you some score updates. Nicholas Sedin scoring 1 in the 5th. They now lead Team Carruthers 4-3. Carruthers with the hammer. They're playing 6. Anna Hasselborg got 1 back on Satsuki Fujisawa. Fujisawa now leading that one 3-2 with the hammer in 5. And Joel Retornaz picking up the first deuce of the game against Corey Dropkin. The world number 2 now leading Dropkin 4-2. Dropkin with the hammer. They are in end number 6. And Bruce just squeezes that one by. The 2 red stones in the middle. And they continue to lie 4.
Yeah, really important not to move that top red stone, so good sweep to hold it. And not much way in now for Team Bryce.
Yeah, and the tough part here for Team Bryce obviously almost goes without saying here, Tyler, but scoring 1 doesn't really do a whole lot for you.
Now you really only have 2 options here. You could try to nose and stay in front of the other red, or hit and roll under the corner.
They can try and draw, like the other thing's trying to draw, just be 3rd shot around the guard. Hand roll's too deep. You need to be like just full 12. Well, no, because if you make it perfect, they might throw the guard and then you've got the angle for 2. Like, this is not bad turnout for 8 a.m. They're probably just blasting us if they make this.
I think it looks busier because there's only one side.
So just playing nose. Talk through 3 different shots in the hack. Not sure I would be comfortable doing that. Might have to reset. Cameron's pretty no nonsense. Just, yeah, okay, I'm going to throw now.
Right up, Duncan, you gotta go.
This is over curling. Duncan Menzies trying to hold it, and it will not find the nose.
Fly down, eh?
Same way, I know what you
Down.
about.
12.
So same shot here for Bruce, or similar.
So touch lights if you want.
You heard Grant say they could play a little less weight and try to get cute with it, roll in front of the red, but Bruce says, who cares?
Yeah,
Giving up one here doesn't
it's not
matter.
really important here, yeah. I mean, if this was a 2-point game, then you probably see him play firm, make sure it goes and stick around, but instead playing easy peel, which for most of us would be peel.
Peel, as we would call it, peel.
Same throw.
And no mistake there for Bruce Mouat. And so
Same throw, and that'll probably do us.
Cameron is, you already heard him say that he's going to throw the same shot, and if he makes the hit, they're probably going to quit anyway. So
yeah, you want to hang this point if you can.
Yep.
Again, just feel a little bit better, even if it's the smallest little bit. Walking off the sheet. Should be the same weight as the previous shot. Just trying to hit on the nose.
So final stone here for Cameron Bryce, and it may very well be the last stone of the game.
Clean.
Just needs to find the nose here, and
Just clean, Doc.
they do seem to like it. And it will be right on the nose for the single, and that is the game. So that'll be a 6-2 final. Bruce Mouat will win and move ahead in the triple knockout bracket. Cameron Bryce will be our first team into the B bracket. And the big crowd here in Charlottetown giving the Scottish boys some love. We will be back here in about 2 hours' time, 11:30 a.m. local. It'll be Brad Jacobs against John Schuster. Make sure you join us for that one. And, of course, the other 3 games that are still on right now, all streamable on Home Team Live. So switch over to one of them, enjoy the rest of the games, and we'll see you back here in a few hours. For Tyler George, I'm John Cullen. See ya.